Week 4 of the NFL season kicks off with Thursday night football as the Raiders travel on the road to take on the Indianapolis Colts in last week's game. We simulated against the Kansas City Chiefs, and unfortunately, we took a loss to fall to 1-2, but it was only a 3-point loss, a lot better than what we've seen to close last season. The Chiefs, though, did add a weapon, that being wide receiver Michael Thomas, who went crazy on our defense, having a little bit of a flashback game as he torches us. But other than that, I feel like we played pretty decently. Whenever you can hold Mahomes to just 21 points, you should have an opportunity to win. Surprisingly, it's been the offense that's been a bit of a struggle to start this season. Jacobs has played well, but other than that, the passing attack's been average at best, and I think that with the DeAndre Hopkins injury, that has hurt. But we take a look at some of the re-signings within the division, and us included. We re-sign Colton Miller, we re-sign AJ Cole. We'll also be seeing Trent McDuffie for a little bit longer, as well as Chris Jones in our division. So some positives, some negatives, but it's big to keep our franchise left tackle and our punter. Last thing before we head to Indianapolis, we will be without Nate Hobbs this game. Unfortunately, he sustained an injury in practice, so we'll have to do without him. But I think it's really up to the offense to try and put up some better outputs than what we did in week 1 and in week 3. I mean, that is 2 games this season held below 20 points, and we cannot be playing like that regardless of how good our defense is trying to become. Our defense too, we played decent against Kansas City, rough against Jacksonville, though I don't think it was bad against Jacksonville. This is our opportunity to really come out here on a national stage in a primetime game and show what this team is all about. Can we show the improvement that we have made? It is Raiders Colts up next. And we start off on the defensive side of the football. Anthony Richardson will take the field for the 1-2 Colts, as both teams at 1-2 looking to get back to 500 early on in this season. Richardson's played a decent start to his year, as he will line up with play action on the first play of the game. He goes down. Eric Armstead with a sack, and it's going to be 2nd and long off the bat. They throw over the middle, a slant route. It's broken up. Now 3rd down, threatening to go 3 and out in under a minute. The screen set up, and Jonathan Taylor wasn't ready for it. That is a quick 3 and out, and the Raiders take control of the football in good field position. Thomas DeShong, only 3 touchdowns through the air through the first 3 weeks. We're going to need to see more of DeShong's improvement as a passer, but we will start on the ground with Josh Jacobs, as we always do, with a 1-yard gain, and DeShong will drop for his first pass, and it's incomplete, but there's a flag on the play, and it looks like there was some contact. That's going to be pass interference on the Colts, and Deshaun Elliott gets in the way of Michael Mayer, so we will take the ball past midfield as Deshaun will tuck, and he will run it, and Deshaun doesn't get very far. He'll get 3, 2nd and 7. Deshaun to the air, will throw underneath, and there's Sharu, who uses his speed, cuts upfield, and sets us up in a very manageable 3rd and 1 as we hand it off Josh Jacobs, and he will get the first down to the 30-yard line. We hand off once again. Jacobs has a hole, and Josh Jacobs has himself 12 yards. Now in the red zone, Deshaun will go outside. Shanny caught, and it's incomplete. Couldn't get the feet in bounds. 2nd and 10. We throw underneath, and that was a bit of a hospital pass to Shanny. Can't be setting our receivers up like that. 3rd and 10. Deshaun underneath once again, and there's Sharu, and it's going to be 4th and 2. We're going for it on 4th down to start our first possession. We go to pass, throwing, and it's incomplete, and the Colts take over. Colts go read option. It's Anthony Richardson loses 2 yards. 2 of the best dual threat quarterbacks going head-to-head today as they hand off to Jonathan Taylor, and it's going to be 3rd down. Camper banged up. 3rd and 10, Richardson in the gun. He drops the throw. He's going to roll left, and he gets sacked. Fumble, and it's picked up in the end zone, but it's a safety. Tyree Wilson. And the Raiders take a 2-0 lead as we got good field position again. We go Justin Perez on the bubble screen. He gets 7 yards. We hand to Jacobs, who fights through a couple of tackles, and Josh Jacobs, 1st down, and a really impressive run. Jacobs trying to prove he is the better running back in this game, as well as he's going head-to-head with Jonathan Taylor. as now 2nd and 6. DeShong takes one deep to Jaden Sherrew, and they are in the red zone once again with the Sherrew catch. DeShong making a defender miss. He's not going to take the dump off. He's going to run for the end zone, and he's taken down at the 1-yard line. DeShong, though, wants to finish the drive, and he does. Touchdown Raiders. Thomas DeShong on the ground, and the Raiders now 9-0 lead as the Colts have been completely stonewalled on offense. Nothing, no first downs, no anything, as there's another sack. It's Eric Armstead. He gets in there again, and it's 3rd down Colts. Richardson will have a clean pocket. He'll check it down underneath. Jonathan Taylor can't get the first down, and it's another punt from the Colts as they go read option. Now DeShong with the keeper. He's going to try to run it wide outside. Couldn't get around the defender. He will get 4 yards as he drops the throw on 2nd down. He's rolling right, and he's just going to throw this one away, set up 3rd down. And he will throw once more and will step up. He will run it. Thomas DeShong, 1st down past midfield, and his legs are getting going early on in this one. First quarter, just a minute to play as we go with Josh Jacobs, who gets 9 yards. 2nd and 1. We are going to go to the 3rd round rookie Justin Perez, playing a lot more due to the DeAndre Hopkins injury. 3rd down, we go bubble the other way, and there's Kalen Shanny all alone. They did not expect it to the other side of the field as 1st down play action. DeShong will roll left. He's going to get sacked, and it's going to be 2nd and very long, but we are going to go RPO. Jaden Sherrew wide open on the wheel route, and he gets us to the 7-yard line. Great offense from the Raiders. We're playing well, and this time it looked like a bit of a miscommunication, and down goes Colton Miller, who just signed a big extension. DeShong, though, 2nd and goal. We're going to go outside, and it's caught. Touchdown, Kalen Shanny. And it's going to be a Raiders 16-0 lead as Shanny dancing near the Colts section of the fans. And it has been a dominant start as the 2nd quarter is underway. Jonathan Taylor stuffed, no gain. This Colts offense hasn't even gotten a first down so far, and it's not going to happen on that play. 3rd down and 10, and they go over the middle. That is the former Packer and the former Raider Devontae Adams, and the Colts now with their first down make it 2 on back-to-back plays as Alec Pierce has it to the 39-yard line. They hand off. Jonathan Taylor tries to find a lane, and he has nowhere to go. 3 yards gained. They go to him once again, cuts it upfield. This time he's got a lot more room, and he fights ahead for the 1st down, and they are finally moving as Richardson has to throw on the run. It's out of bounds, out of reach. They spread the field now. Richardson will try to run, and there's Oso Diggy-Zua with the sack, and it's 3rd and 13. They check it down screen to Adams, who breaks a tackle, but he can't get the 1st down. And another stop by the Raider defense. This time it will result in 3 points for the Colts. But I am so impressed with what this defense is doing as we check a pop pass on the first play to Shanny. And Shanny gets 8 yards. We just love getting his speed in the open field as we go with a run play. It's going to be DeShong keeping, and he fights a lot, but he gets back to the line of scrimmage. That is it. We go Jacobs on 3rd down, and it is automatic when you need Josh Jacobs to get a couple. He usually gets it. DeShong will throw it deep, and it's going to be incomplete. There's a flag, but they picked up the flag. No pass interference. There was minimal contact, and the Raiders will be set up with a 2nd and 10 to make it 3rd and 9 now as DeShong will try to throw out of a sack. He can't, and we finally have to punt the football away as the Colts now trying to get some momentum, and they're going to do that if Anthony Richardson can run like that for 1st downs every play. But the Raiders trying to continue their great defensive half of football as they do great there in pass coverage. 2nd and 10, Richardson to throw. He will go underneath, and it's caught. Fighting ahead, 1st down. Colts are moving it. Under 4 to play, men in motion. They go to a little wham play. Jonathan Taylor finding a lane, and Taylor gets close to midfield. He's finally picking it up now as they drop to throw on 1st down over the middle. That's Jelani Woods with the catch. 8 yards. And the Colts trying to get a score before the end of the half to maybe make this a one-score game. At least make it a 10-point game, as with 2 to go, they'll take the snap just before the 2-minute warning. Roll, everyone was going deep, and it's a sack once again. 2nd and 19, 2-minute warning has hit, and Richardson just gonna try to run it. He can't go anywhere. It's 3rd and 15 now, and these sacks have been killing the Colts as Devontae Adams with the check down underneath just to try to set up a long field goal. 58 yards is no easy make, but they're gonna try it, and the kick is wide left, no good. Raiders take over in great field position once again, as there's Tate, the rookie 7th-round pick. Jarius Tate with the catch, and he's got another one on the outside, tries to get out of bounds, can't do it. There's a minute to play, but there's plenty of time for this Raider offense to try to get in the end zone again, as Deshaun to the air, he'll roll right, and he's just going to throw this one away, stop the clock, 44 seconds to play. Deshaun will throw, and he's got a clean pocket, will hit Michael Mayer, and Mayer gets it 3rd and inches, cannot quite get the first down. They are so close though, and they will just go for the first down and have it. Playing conservative here, 20 seconds to play. Deshaun will get a curl route, incomplete, and there is under 20 to play at the 21-yard line. Deshaun rolling, throws, and it's caught by Cheroux. We burn our final timeout. What do we got here? 11 seconds to the end zone. Caught, touchdown, and that's Justin Perez with his first career touchdown, and we have a big lead going into the half. Perez getting the playing time for the DeAndre Hopkins injury, and it caps off a 23-30 first half where the Raiders have over 200 yards of offense and have not even allowed the Colts to get to 100. This is the team we've been waiting to see. The offense that was top 10 last year, putting up some points. The defense that we made so many changes to this offseason, finally showing how dominant they can be. Let's hope we can do this in the second half. We have a lot of fun to be had if this is the team we're going to be seeing more often. It's going to be the second half. Raiders and Colts continues next. As we welcome you back to Indy, it is 23-3, and very often when you hear that score during the duration of this series, you will have assumed we are down 23-3, but no, we are in fact up 23-3 as we start off, threatening to go 3 and out on the first drive of the game. But Deshaun's not going to let that happen so easily, as it's 4th and 1, and we're going for it. Hyper aggressive as Josh Moss, the fullback slash running back, power back, he gets the first down, and we go with another bubble screen RPO. Cheroux has the first down, and Cheroux has been making a lot of plays early on this season, and we are so impressed with the improvements of Jaden Cheroux, as Deshaun will float one, and it's going to be out of bounds in the direction of Michael Mayer. 2nd down, but we have needed these receivers to step up, and I think both have so far, as Cheroux and Shanny have played so much better. It's going to be a punting situation, though, as we send A.J. Cole out into the field, and A.J. Cole, fresh off a new contract, and he is going to pin them all the way down at the 1, as the Colts now have to travel 99 yards, and Jonathan Taylor will be out for that potentially, as he gets banged up. They throw underneath, and it's going to be caught, but it's 3rd and 3 as Anthony Richardson gets hit as he's thrown, and it's going to be a punting situation as we are playing the field position game better than we have had in a long time. But on the note of running back injuries, Jonathan Taylor goes down last possession, Josh Jacobs goes down this one, and Deshaun gets sacked on the play by Kwity Paye. And we're going to have to do things without Jacobs. But through the air here, Deshaun is hit as he's thrown, and Cole will have to punt the football once again. And A.J. Cole is having himself a game. Every area this team is playing so well, and now the special teams coming up and making some big plays to start the second half. 2 punts inside the 5 as Richardson hands it off once more, and Jackson can't go anywhere. 3rd and 10, they're just going to run it once more, and Jackson can't get the first down. Punt for the Colts. I don't think they're going to be pinning us inside the 5 as Kalen Shanny back to return it, and Shanny will go right, and Kalen Shanny's got some room. Shanny using his speed, beating a defender, and Kalen Shanny to the 27-yard line. His first big return of the season, coming off a all-pro returning season, as DeShong now set up at the 27-yard line, throws incomplete on the first play. We go to screen on the second, and Tate gets blown up. 3rd and 10. DeShong to throw, and he's going to go up top for Tate, and it's incomplete. Leo Wilcox now banged up for the Raiders, as the only negative I can say in this game as we go up 26-3 is that we've sustained some injuries. Colton Miller, Josh Jacobs, and now Leo Wilcox banged up, as there's a Devontae Adams catch for no gain, as Richardson to throw over the middle, and it's picked off. That's Ellis Travis, the rookie corner, who's played so well this season to start his rookie campaign, and he gets his first career interception. And once again, the field position for us is great. It's Alex Venable, the second-year running back who we drafted in day 3 last year. He gets himself a pretty nice run as we throw. We had a lot of time in the pocket. No one got open. 2nd and 10. We're going to go play action. DeShong to the air. He's got a man, and it's incomplete. He missed Giroux for a touchdown. You got to hit those. We're not going to be too worried about it since we have such a big lead, but that's a great play to Kalen Shanny, throwing across his body and setting us up inside the 5-yard line. Moss gets the carry. He can't get it. And now DeShong to the air, over the middle, caught, touchdown, and that is Kalen Shanny, his second of the game, and it is 33-3 as the third quarter is winding down, and we are having a lot of fun here in Indianapolis and in front of the whole world. They are getting to see just how good we can be as the Colts go up top, and it's incomplete. It's Ellis Travis breaking it up. And with no Josh Jacobs coming back as he is ruled out for the game, it'll be Peralta and Venable, the 2 backs, getting split carries as Venable will weave his way around and get himself to a 3rd and 1 situation. You'll also be seeing a bit of Josh Moss in this, as Moss would be a good person to go with on 3rd and 1, but we go with Peralta, and he gets the first down. As we get to learn about some of these backs, Venable, he is more of a receiving shotgun 3rd down type of back, whereas Peralta is more of a powerful, workhorse back, because that's what he was in college. As DeShong with another miss, he's missing some of these balls. If it wasn't for the fact that we were up by 30, I'd be a bit more concerned, but we got to pick those up as we convert on 3rd down there, as Venable will get 4 yards, and really getting to see what this running game can do without Jacobs as we throw outside, and that's behind Perez. As 3rd down once more, DeShong to throw, and he's got it, Shanny, and it'll be 4th and 1, and we're staying aggressive. Going for it is Josh Moss. He can't get it this time as he converted on a 4th down earlier, but we have no reason to not be aggressive as we just wanted to convert, run some clock, as we're going to see if this defense can hold them out of the end zone for the entirety of this game. As Richardson had Devontae Adams, but he missed it, and it's going to be 2nd down, and he throws underneath. Pierce gets it knocked away. 3rd and 10, and Richardson, it will throw, and it's J.C. Horn with the deflection. Great play on the ball. 4th down. Richardson rolling left, and he is sacked. That's Tyree Wilson once again, and he's had an awesome game. DeShong and the offense take over. Josh Jacobs, we did put him back in the game. Josh Jacobs was adamant that he returns to this game, even though I said that he wasn't going to return. So Josh Jacobs forced his way onto the football field, as we're happy to see him, but we really don't need him right now, as we just are going to run this clock out. But once again, like I said, Jacobs was adamant that he returned to this game. I advised him not to, but he said, no, I want to come back in. I want to run this clock. I want to be a part of this victory with this team, as Jacobs has experienced a lot of losing here in Las Vegas, in Oakland, wherever he was playing on the Raiders. He's experienced a lot of losing, and he's finally getting to experience a dominant victory, which he has not had very often. As there's a nice play, but it's dropped by Giroux. He will settle for a field goal. It's going to be 36-3. But we are proud of what this team has been able to accomplish today. It has been a fun one, as the Colts are still trying to drive. They still got their starters in. They're still trying to move it down the field. And there's a great play and a throw in between two defenders to Jackson, as Jonathan Taylor still has not returned to this game. And I think, whereas Josh Jacobs did want to return, I don't think there's any incentive for Jonathan Taylor to return, as there is no comeback happening. And the Colts now driving inside the 20. They are at the 18. They are just running the football. Anthony Richardson tries to cut it up the field. He loses 2 more, and we have contained Richardson on the ground. That has been a big part of why this defense has been successful today, as Jelani Woods will have the catch down at the 10-yard line. And it's going to be a false start with 2 minutes to go, as the Colts in the best scoring position they have been all game. Colts will throw, and it's caught. Davante Adams down to the 1-yard line, and the Colts will throw it, caught, touchdown. Davante Adams gets his 6th. We take the football back, and we just run out the clock. Fantasy owners are happy about that one. I'm pretty sure we didn't blow the spread or anything. I don't think we were favored by 26, so I think the bettors are fine with that one as well. But we got the win, and 36-10. It was a beautiful performance on all phases of the ball for this Raiders team. Special teams, you see in the second half, 2 amazing inside the 5 punts and a great return. On offense, we ran it well. The passing game was fine. We threw it a lot, but Deshaun had some misses, but he threw 3 touchdowns, no picks. He didn't really have to do a whole lot. Running game was very good, as Josh Jacobs, Thomas Deshaun, and even the backups when Peralta and Venable had to come in, they didn't play all that bad. And Sharu played a decent game. I think we shut down Davante Adams to the best we could. I mean, if you allow him to only get 6 catches for 52 yards, I think you take that as a win. And this team, I mean, this is what we've been waiting to see. The passing defense was great. The pass rush was so much better with Odighizuwa and Eric Armstead in the middle. But as we wrap things up here, it is time for the college football update for this week. This is your college football update. Weeks 3 and 4 of the college football season are in the books. We have a few things to talk about as we go through week 4. Northern Illinois picked up a big win over Minnesota and jumped to number 11 in the polls. Florida State with a dominant victory over NC State, bumping themselves up by 1 to number 8. And in an upset in week 4, we had Oklahoma State taking down Iowa State as Heisman candidate Ramsey White led a great game-winning touchdown drive to pick up the upset win. Iowa State, for the first time in a long time, drops out of the top 15, and Oklahoma State takes their spot at the number 14 slot. But that is not all, as in week 5 we have more to speak of, as Alabama picks up an impressive win over Tennessee. Oklahoma did their thing over Texas Tech and bumped up 2 spots in the polls. But the real upset of the video will be Wake Forest taking down Clemson on the road, going into Clemson's house and picking up a massive victory. And we will get into one of the reasons why, as we have a Wake Forest player to talk about for the first time in this series. So all you Wake Forest fans out there, I don't know how many of you there are, we got a player to talk about as they take down Clemson. They still hold strong in the top 15, but at 2-1, it's going to be a little rough looking for an ACC crown, as Florida State now jumps up to the undisputed top of the favorites when it comes to that conference. Now, as we look ahead to week 6 and week 7, we will have Texas, TCU, Oregon, USC, Iowa, Ohio State. Week 7, we will have Northern Illinois facing Penn State in a big top showdown, number 11 versus number 7. Baylor, Oklahoma State, Clemson will try to get back on track against Georgia Tech. So a couple of games we will have to talk about. But let's get into some of these players, and I want to start off with that Wake Forest player. It is tight end Reggie Fletcher, who in that game against Clemson did catch 2 huge touchdowns, as he had a career day going for 8 catches, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including a 37-yarder to help push that lead to 10. Clemson could not make the comeback as they pulled within 3, couldn't pull it off in the end. But Reggie Fletcher is a player definitely worth talking about, as I think he will be a guy who maybe creeps into round 1, as I love the skill set he possesses. He is a very big, very big target. 6'4", 260 doesn't even really do it justice, as he is just a big guy in the middle of the field. A former basketball player, power forward at the University of Wake Forest. and he moved to the football team where he does not have a whole lot of experience playing football or the tight end position, as he kind of was, football was a second sport, but still played it, and he does possess all the raw physical ability, though. He is incredibly fast, incredibly athletic, very good vertical, very good leaping ability. And what you'd expect from a guy like this is he is great in the red zone, and he is able to box out defenders, go up, grab that rebound, or make that catch in the end zone. That's why he was able to put up 6 touchdowns last year as a guy who was still learning the position, and now he has already started off hot with 3 touchdowns to start this season, including that 2 against Clemson. But when you have a player like this, obviously the lack of experience at football, it's there. You can definitely see it. He is a complete liability as a run blocker. He is definitely not someone who should ever be a pass blocker. I mean, if you have him on your offense, you want him on a route, you want him in the passing game. But even when he's in the passing game, he does not run the best routes. He is, not great at his cuts. He definitely is a player who needs to get better at his cutting, his agility, his lateral movement. He needs to get better at that. But when, he is running a seam route up the middle of the field, he is unstoppable. When he gets the ball in his hands, he can, he is hard to bring down. And when you get in the red zone, he's a great target for anyone. I think he has all the potential in the world to be a great tight end, but it's really a matter of if the team that gets him can really hone in, help him improve, make him a better pass catcher top to bottom, because it's not just when the ball is thrown to you, it's everything you do before the ball is thrown. And he does not do that stuff particularly well, but I think just for his talent alone and for the even baseline talent that he possesses of being a great red zone target, he is going to be at least a 2nd round pick. Reggie Fletcher, really fun player. I'd love to see him in the Raiders, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Reggie Fletcher. Up next, we have another running back. As I said, this was going to be a pretty strong running back class, and we have our second of 3 running backs we will be talking about throughout the duration of this season, and it is Bill Culliver, running back out of Oklahoma. I think he, of the top 3 backs, is the worst of the 3, but he is still a very nice player. I can see Culliver basically being a solidified round 2 guy. I think he's maybe more likely to be round 3 than round 1, but he's a very much a guy I think locked into round 2, unless he goes crazy this season or falls off a cliff, which we don't project that to really happen, as he has already started the season pretty strong, on projection to improve his numbers from last year and the year before that. But if you ever wanted to know why a player on our team by the name of Josh Moss at running back never really got a whole lot of playing time, it's because Josh Moss was the backup to this guy throughout his whole college career, as Bill Culliver was a 4-year starter at running back, walked in as a freshman, and he could have declared for the draft this past season and been probably a day 2 pick once again, but he decided to return to college, finish out everything, and be a 4-year starter. For the positives on that, I mean, he's played in multiple different run schemes, as Oklahoma has shifted through multiple different offensive coordinators in his time there who have run different run schemes, so he can play, the inside game, the outside game, zone run. He has gotten a lot of experience in a lot of different, systems, dating all the way back to high school as well. So he's going to be able to fit in just about anywhere. And if you want the negatives to that, though, I mean, so a guy who 800 touches in his college career, teams are going to look at that and be like, well, how much can he really provide to us? Because teams are looking for guys that not only flash talent, but have a lot of tread on the tires. And when someone has over 800 touches in his college career, they're not going to like that. On top of that, he's gotten some injuries. He's never played a full season. He's never sustained a major injury, but he'll have those injuries. He tweaks a hamstring, little ankle sprain. He'll miss a couple of weeks every year. So, if you're playing a 17-game schedule, don't count on him playing 17. You can count on him playing 13, 14 games. Some people don't like that. I can understand why, but he's definitely not a guy that you should have as your just solidified, clear running back 1. You got to have someone behind him who can pick up the slack for those couple of games he may miss or take the load off his shoulders. But as a positive for him, just purely as a running back, he has no major flaws as a runner. Now, while he has no major flaws, I don't think he has many amazing strengths. Like, he's a solid pass catcher, but he's not a great pass catcher. He can run in between the tackles, but he's not amazing. He can run outside, but he's not incredible at it. I think the best trait that he does have is he is very hard to bring down. He does fight for yards like crazy. He is definitely one of those guys you want in a goal line situation who can fight for those yards. The only reason his touchdown numbers are lower throughout his entire career is Oklahoma does like to do a lot of variety of stuff at the goal line. I mean, you've seen what Josh Moss was able to do in his college career, just being a goal line touchdown back. So he kind of took a lot of touchdowns from Culliver, and last year, you know, they did the same thing, bring in a guy who can just be a tank at the goal line. But Culliver's a really solid back, and I think is going to be a nice addition to any backfield. But I don't know if I ever see him becoming, you know, an elite, amazing player. I know he compared him to Arian Foster. That's a bit maybe the high end of what he can become. But yeah, I think Culliver's a nice back, but I would be concerned if someone drafted him to be their guy for the next, like, you know, 5-6 years with no real, you know, person to take the load off his shoulders. He always needed that at Oklahoma, so we'll see what happens with Bill Culliver and where he goes. And the final player we have, last year was a pretty heavy cornerback class, and this year, not so much. This is the only corner we will be talking about in this, you know, season for college football. A lot of the great corners decided to come out last year, and we were lucky enough to snag one of them in Ellis Travis. So I can't really say this is a player we're going to be having on our radar because of our great secondary, especially how they played this past game. But Bo Howard is the top corner in this year's draft. I think he is about as close as you can get to Trayvon Diggs coming out as a prospect as you can get. Trayvon Diggs went in the second round, but teams ever since watching the success of Diggs have been more willing to take players like this a bit higher, and I think he will sneak into the mid to late first round area. He is exactly as you would just think of someone like Trayvon Diggs to be. Elite ball skills, 7 interceptions last year of college, 5 the year before that. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another 5+ this year. He is dangerous when the ball is up in the air, and he will take it away. On top of that, he is a threat to take the football back to the house every single time because, you know, combining those top two positives with his third positive, they all kind of coincide with one another. He's a former wide receiver. He played wide receiver as a freshman and in high school. So when he made the switch to cornerback as a sophomore, he was able to get a lot of interceptions, but he got beat a lot. He's a frustrating player at times. Think of what Trayvon Diggs was when he got his 10 interception season. He got beat a lot, allowed a lot of yards. Yes, he turned the football over for you and he got the ball back, but he also allowed some really rough plays, and he's not a player that you can give up on. You have to, like, let him have his struggles, let him get beat, let him learn. He has to learn. He has to figure it out because he needs reps. He needs to be on the field. He needs to play. That's the only way he's going to get better. He's seen how it worked for, you know, Trayvon Diggs so far, and he's become a top 10 corner in the league. Now, I can't say that he's going to be exactly like him because Diggs is his own thing. He was able to mentally get through it. He was able to learn and develop quickly. You can't say that maybe about someone like Howard until you draft him, you have him in the building, you know what he's going to be like. But I think he is the ideal blueprint of what you'd want him to be. So I think Bo Howard is an intriguing prospect for a lot of players and for a lot of teams to, like, really get in their room and to see if they can get the next Trayvon Diggs. Some teams are going to be all over him. Some teams are going to be completely out on him. It's really a matter of who's going to have the patience and who's going to want to deal with him. But he's going to be a fun prospect, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him leading the league in interceptions one season in his career. That'll do it for this episode, as in the next one, we will have a big-time showdown. We will be going on the road at Lambeau Field, taking on Lance Bowen, the number 2 overall pick, the Green Bay Packers, and we'll see if we can have another game like we had this week where we were dominant. I will see you all in the next one.